You guys know I post in batches. I take video, like 10 videos, because I have so much to say. So anyway, I want to talk about the Divergent series because that's one of the movies. Okay, so here's the video. Okay, let me just start off. So I, take a break, right? And I'm guided to watch the movie The Phenomenon with John Travolta. It's from the 90s. If you guys have not seen that movie, you need to go fucking see that movie. I have never seen that movie. I was like shocked. I was like, this is like literally what happened to me. Minus, I don't have like, and this is what's happening to a lot of people. There's people who have telekinetic powers right now. Telepathic, psychic, like all this crazy stuff. It's crazy. It's a movie about a guy who gets alien powers because he's a UFO experience. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never seen this movie in my life. So, guided to watch that movie. Okay. The next movie I'm guided to watch, Powder. If you guys have ever seen that movie, that's also a 90s movie. And it's about a guy who has these like superhuman abilities. And it's actually like very compassionate. Very Christ consciousness coded. That movie is all about Christ consciousness, how he gets ostracized. It's all about the fucking starseeds. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I've never seen this movie. I've never seen this movie. And I'm like, but these movies are literally describing what's happening to me and so many other starseeds right now. Oh my God, it's insane. So then I'm like, okay. Then I watched the movie Stargate. Never seen that movie either. That's, I also believe, a movie from the 90s with Kurt Russell and I can't remember the actual main character's name. But he's in a lot of famous 80s movies, which is really funny. And he can like read like Egyptian script and he has to work with the government and they go through like a portal and they go into a different dimension. And then they free the slaves from the other dimension. It's literally insane. It's insane. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, so now I'm like 3 movies in. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So that's why I'm saying, like, I try to take a break from all this stuff. I'm like, you know what? I just need like a full break. Like, I don't want to hear anything about aliens. I don't want to hear anything about anything else for like a long time. And then like I'm guided to like watch all these movies. So then I watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I've never seen that movie. That's the movie by Steven Spielberg. And I'm just like, I'm just like, my brain is exploding at this point. So if you guys love aliens, if you're all about disclosure, watch these movies in that order. Watch The Phenomenon with John Travolta, Powder with, I don't know the names of the people in those movies. I recognize people, but I don't know their names. Stargate with Kurt Russell and some other guy from the 80s, and then Close Encounters of the Third Kind with Steven Spielberg. It's literally, but all between Peacock and Amazon Prime, those movies are on there. And then I watched Divergent after that. It is a bit crazy. So Close Encounters of the Third Kind is exactly how open contact is going to occur. Like, it's literally, those are the ships. Like, that's everything except for minus the Greys. The Greys came off of it. And then there's like a line in that movie that at that like sort of towards the end where the guy's like, oh, this totally like proves like Einstein's theory of relativity, because like all these like people from like the 1940s like come off the ship, like it's crazy, like which proves like Einstein's theory of relativity, which I didn't even know. So then I started to look into Einstein's theory of relativity and I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, I'm gonna have to talk to a physicist about it, because I talked to ChatGPT about it for like an hour, could not figure it out. So if anybody's an expert on Einstein's theory of relativity, if they could explain that to me, like how that's like able to happen, because I'm just like, so anyway, it was a lot. I was like, this is just crazy right now. So like all 4 of those movies are basically like open contact, and also prove again that the 7th dimensional beings that I'm in contact with have been seeding our realities this entire time. And of course it's like, what are the odds that they reveal that stuff to me right now? What are the odds that I never watched any of those movies and then now I watch all 4 of them and it's like literally it's like everything that's going on right now. Especially like the draw to like ancient Egypt and Stargate. Like, it was crazy. I thought Stargate was like Star Wars. It's not. Stargate's about a dimensional portal. Then I also watched a little bit of Highlander, but I couldn't get through it. I'm sorry. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it's about parallel dimensional lives. That's what it is. And it's an 80s movie, and it's like kind of crazy. And I got distracted talking to ChatGPT about Einstein's theory of relativity through that movie, so I'm gonna have to like rewatch that. But like, it was like parallel dimensional lives. So I'm like, they have been seeding this into people from the 80s, guys. So this is like what they were trying to show me. They're like, yeah, your parents, like, they're all prepped and primed and ready for this, guys. They watched all of our childhood movies with us. I mean, most people, you know, obviously people have different circumstances and stuff like that. And then I watched Divergent. Okay, that's the last series they had me watch. And it's like insane because that is exactly how disclosure and open contact is occurring. So what happened? So first of all, the divergence alone. Hello, the neurodivergence. I've gotten so many fucking channels about how neurodivergence are starseeds down here. At least other planetary. Our souls are hybridized with other planetary souls where what do we call them? I always call them heteronormative, but that's not the word for them. Neurotypical. I don't know why I call them heteronormative, but I do. That's my word for neurotypical people. So, neurotypicals are just earth seeds. Like, they're actually hybridized with their parallel lives, though. That's the thing about it. They had to be hybridized with all of their parallel lives, which is the most crazy part, because this is like how good they are, you know, with being seeded with, because that's how we, like, again, we move dimensions, we ascend and evolve as a species. And so Divergent was crazy. So, like, you know, you get, it's a series where these people get, you know, grouped into like these 5 houses. It's like law is like one of them, you know, being a hippie and loving the farm and doing that shit's another one. The one that the main character's from is called abnegation, which is like, they help like the homeless and they're very selfless and they're not vain. And then there's another one that's like the lawyers, you know, like the erudite. They're like the truth knowers, basically. It's insane because that's like basically like how we divide up our society. And then I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil the whole series. So if you watched it, spoiler alert. But then there's people in the society who are divergent, who don't fit into any of the boxes. They fit into all of them. And the cool thing about this series is that it showed that even within divergence, like there's different, like the main character, Shailene Woodley, her name's Triss. She was 100% divergent, and then her partner was like not as divergent. Like she was the pure one, right? And so there's people like that, like that's channelers. Like we just have more of our alien soul. We just have more dimensional we just have more of our consciousness in more dimensions. So that's like why we're able to like pull information, like us psychics and stuff. Like I've talked about this. So it's crazy when I watched this series. I was like, wait a damn minute, I have literally talked about all this shit. And obviously the last time I watched this series, I didn't have any of this information. So I'm like, this is literally insane that I talk about this shit and then it's like literally in front of my face. So, this girl, she's divergent and she actually chooses like so it's how us divergence, she chooses Dauntless, which is like the crazy like parkour, like kind of psycho group of, you know, the society. And I would say the people who do like BMX and like, you know, all that shit, but it's really actually us divergents. We take on really, really difficult soul contracts. We have to go into the shadows, us light workers, and then we don't function well in society. So we get a lot of repercussions for that because we're not supposed to, because we have dimensional information on how society is supposed to be run. But then because we've had to go through this matrix system, we've gotten like all this pushback. And that's why we've like learned hypervigilance, and we've learned like all these kind of skills here. We had to be hypervigilant around people. We had to learn people's energy. We had to learn how to read people really well so we could like, you know, modify our behavior so we could fit into society. But a lot of us are burnt out now because we literally just don't have the capabilities to fit into a society that is, you know, now we know why, because it's like manipulated and coerced and it's taken over by the overlords, you know, that kind of stuff. But all our lives were told it's because we were lazy or stupid or something was wrong with us, and we got medicated and hospitalized, and also just some of us just really got a lot of pushback from people, and we just like couldn't understand it. And that's literally the Divergent series. That's what that is about. It's literally about open contact, aliens, divergence, starseeds, all of it. So it's so crazy that I was like guided to watch this series. And then JK Ultra, at the same time, I was guided to watch how she shit on all of it. And I'm like, girl, you just look at this magic over here. Come over here. We have like magic and fun, and there's so much cool stuff in just our realities that we're not picking up on, and it's for people with pattern recognition, and you actually have that pattern recognition. So, you know, so that's why I get so sad. I'm going to keep mentioning her because I feel like it's a death to me right now. Anyway, I have to go to part 2.